Hey everyone, Anders here with another AION 2 video. Today we are going to go over the latest developer livestream we just had for the game. First, they talked about bots. They have permabanned over 50,000 accounts since the start of this month, and they've made it so that real name link accounts can only create 10 NC accounts. This is mostly a Korea thing where you need real ID verification. Previously, you could use your ID to create up to 30 NC accounts, but they have now restricted this to 10 in hopes of fighting bot farms. They say the number of bots, or negative users as they call it, is now only 5% of the active player base. They've also made your CAPTCHA fail transformations PvP active, meaning bots can now be killed by enemy faction players. In the future, they also want to update this so that everyone, including friendly factions, can engage the player if they fail the gathering CAPTCHA. For Abyss changes, we have new server matchmaking for balance purposes. There is now a separate maximum number of people allowed per lower and middle Rashanta maps. You no longer lose Abyss points on death. Instead, ranking points are decreased upon death. Every rank also gets a 30% Abyss point acquisition buff to negate the ploy of lowering your rank to the 9th rank soldier to get that buff. Artifact War is now at the same time for both floors in Abyss and on set days. Same target kill limit has been changed from daily to hourly. When you are capped on AP, you can now only gain rank points through PvP. They've also reduced the standard ranking points for generals and above. Artifact Corridor is now the same on all 4 corners of that map instead of the middle and the back ones being the only decent ones. Now every single spot will be viable. If you lose all nodes in the Artifact War, you now get the Pity Dungeon Gate at your base in Abyss. There is a new dungeon called Cradle of Nothingness releasing this week. Normal and hard mode is releasing at the same time for that one. This dungeon will give us higher item level weapons and accessories, which was expected. The new Philosopher's Stone is being released this week as well. Having 2 of these will grant you an extra soulbind slot on your item as long as that item has reached 100% soulbind. The sealed Philosopher's Stone was a temporary item that was created before this system update and can no longer be obtained. Instead, the Philosopher's Stone will now drop. Sealed versions of this can be converted into the Philosopher's Stone item through Substance Morph. Soul Codex is also getting new sources. Now they drop from Transcendence dungeons, and there's also a Substance Morph recipe being added where you need 200 enhanced stones and 10,000 Kina to craft 1 Soul Codex. You can also obtain up to 50 bound Philosopher's Stones through Substance Morph. Crafting changes are also getting implemented this week. Draconic material drops from dungeon reward cubes have been increased. 4-star dungeons now get lower ranked Draconic mats. Previously, they were laid out by conquest tier, so you had to run lower tier conquest dungeons for lower tier mats to craft your gear. This helps a lot since you no longer will be wasting your subjugation tickets on lower tier dungeons just for these materials if you don't have access to the market. They've also added a Substance Morph recipe that allows you to replace the Master Shining Orichalcum series with dungeon equipment 4 times per server until the end of March. They've also increased the drop rate for higher grade Odile by 500% in 4-star dungeons. Great change. The reward amount for unique and heroic Syncstone fragments has been doubled compared to before. Heroic gear upgrade Kina cost has been reduced by up to 60%, which is huge. Amplifying cost also for heroics has been reduced to be the same as uniques. Transferring stats will no longer cost you Kina either, and you'll also get refunded for any excess Kina you spent before these changes came to life. A system update is planned in the future that will allow PvE amplification values to be added to dungeon gear with the same target equipment, so duplicates will be used to amplify that dungeon gear. The effectiveness of this new dungeon gear that's been amplified after these changes will still be lower than that of crafted gear. The subscription merchant shop will now offer 5 Odile recharge and daily dungeon tickets per character instead of 7, but now they offer an additional 8 that are server-wide every week. The Pet Soul crystals offered in the shop were also changed from 100 per character to 400 server-wide per week. There's also a new Platoon Kisk available for 500,000 Kina. The Up Shugo Festival minigame is coming back. There's also a closet preset coming. There's also an emote preview option coming as well. For combat changes, Theostone CC effects will now be affected by your CC resistance stat, impact for stunned, mental for seal, ailment for the rest. Defiance can also now be used on fear and freeze, and they said evasion will be addressed in the future. Evasion right now is pretty strong in PvP PvP, so we might be seeing some nerfs. Class balance will be in the patch notes later today. Doesn't seem like it's a lot of changes, but we'll see. They also showed off the Lunar New Year outfits, pets, and wings. Let me know what you think about them in the comments. And that's all for today's video. Smaller update, but all great changes for quality of life and all good for those of us waiting for the game to release in the West. Honestly, there are still some fundamental issues I have with progression, but we do have some time to hopefully get those sorted. I'm also still waiting on the dedicated PC UI, so hopefully we see that getting released very soon. NCSoft has their Q4 earnings report this week, so we may find out more information about global release for AION 2 and how they're doing financially. All metrics seem to indicate NCSoft is making a lot of money from AION 2, and now Lineage Classic has been a success at launch, though we'll see how much staying power that Lineage Classic subscription model has going forward. Expect more videos on the channel covering AION 2. Like and subscribe to see more videos like this, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.